Hi, everyone. Welcome to our live stream. I'm Rosalie, aka Crypto Queen. I'm here with Brandon today. We are doing a little different live stream today. Going to be doing our stop losing, start trading segment where we check on interns' positions and check the recent trades. And then we're going to go over the market. Brandon's going to give us some insights on the best and the worst trades on Unichain. And yeah, we have some updates and some exciting news for you guys today. Just a reminder, this is not financial advice, so please do your own research. This is just for entertainment purposes and for our enjoyment and your enjoyment as well. Hi, Brandon. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Welcome. Excited to be here. Happy Friday. And yeah, excited to jump in some entertaining Bitcoin trades and Unichain trades. So we have a lot to cover today and some exciting announcements probably coming out soon. So how are you doing, Mel?
Good. Yeah, I'm just watching the market. I'm glad it's Friday. I'm really excited for ETH Denver. I can't wait to see some of our users in person and connect with people I haven't seen in a while. But yeah, let's just kind of dive right in. This is my first time doing the live stream without Guillaume, so bear with me. I'm a little nervous, but hopefully we can look at interns trades and see what's been happening.
Sweet. Well, let me add your screen here.
Awesome. Okay. So yeah, we've recently opened a new position in the Bitcoin WETH pool. Has pretty high buying power already. So I think that means there's a lot of stuff happening there with our collateral usage. We can click. Yeah.
And just for those new to the stream, the ticker here is Bitcoin. What does that mean?
This is
This isn't the real Bitcoin. Or is this the
This is
real,
the real
real?
Bitcoin. This is Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu. This is a meme coin that I personally really enjoy being a part of the community and I'm invested in. So we decided, to go put an option strategy in here. We're trading the ratio between Bitcoin and WETH. So here we have a strangle. You can see here where the profit is, and then we're kind of in this range right now collecting fees from option buyers. Let's look at the price chart. So nothing has happened here too drastic. We're within this range, and yeah, we have a nice spread here. Anything stands out to you about this position? What do you think about the buying power? Anything I should be cautious of?
Yeah. This is an interesting trade. It looks like you put this on the last options hour about 2 days ago. And right now the effective spread's actually 1. So in Panoptic, right, when the spread's 1, that means that there is no buyer, but your position is it's not idle. It's sitting in Uniswap earning fees there. But that means that this is a ripe opportunity for someone to come and actually take the opposite trade. It looks like your position's not super huge. You got, well, in terms of Bitcoin contracts, it looks big, 1,700 Bitcoin contracts, but that's about $300-400 position. So someone could come in and actually buy your straddle here and try to trade the opposite, buy the volatility. If the price goes way up or down, they're going to make some money. But at the same time, that would actually help you earn a bit more than what you're earning here. Yeah, could you go into the Premia actually, and we can look at how it's been doing
Yeah,
streaming wise?
looks pretty good on the rise.
Yeah, it's going off, so that's good. You're in range, right? And yeah, so I think all of these fees are Uniswap fees rather than other option buyers, which is kind of a unique thing, right? Because Normally you need a buyer to earn any premium, but in Panoptic you get it even without any buyers.
Yes, it is the magic of Panoptic. Let's look at another market. We can check on all three right now. I don't know that we necessarily need to do anything today. This position looks good. It's in range. It's earning fees. We just need some more buyers to come in to Panoptic, take that other side. Yeah, so let's look at this position here. We have Bitcoin ETH position where we moved some out of range liquidity in range and are earning a decent amount of fees here. It still hasn't moved too much, so I'm not, let's see, 16 days. I guess we could,
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe you close the tab at the bottom and you can see like the current price and price at mint a bit better.
yeah. So
There you go.
we're still in making money. We're still in range, although nothing too big has happened here yet. Kind of still hoping for it to kind of move a little bit more. So maybe
So you're bearish on ETH here relative to Bitcoin?
yes, yes. I was hoping that there would be a bigger shift in the market this week, but I guess the ratio here hasn't kind of shifted too much yet.
Yeah,
Although
not too much.
both are down, so I'm surprised to see it hasn't moved a little bit more.
Yeah, that is surprising. If both Bitcoin and ETH are down, and then if this ratio is the same, then they both went down about the same amount, meaning your bearish call spread here isn't gonna change at all. But
Yeah, that's what's happening. I do think that somebody here you can see bought part of my call option here and is paying some juicy fees. So
yes, that's like a nice 18% extra spread
yes,
there.
18% on Panoptic versus Uniswap. We can take a look here and kind of see where this liquidity is moving, where my position is, where the other buyers and sellers are. Looks like somebody has closed the position. Last time we checked in on this position, there were a lot more puts like that were very bullish on ETH. So I think maybe since we mentioned that last episode, somebody decided to close their position. So hopefully they did that at a good time. But yeah, I think 16 days as well. Looks good. We'll keep collecting fees, and we'll see what happens
Yeah,
over
this
the
is a nice
weekend. Yeah.
position. I like this one because as you say, you're moving liquidity from out of range to in range. So actually, you have one leg that's short and one leg that's long. The long leg looks really scary. That minus 3.25x spread means you're paying nearly triple in funding rate, basically, or in premia for that call leg, but it's totally out of range, I believe. Like if you click on, oh, I guess, okay, here, 0.03 to 0.048. So it's right now the price is below the range that you would have to start paying money to that call option. So on the long side, where you're buying the call, it's basically a free call option in Panoptic because it's out of range. So you can only earn Streamia from here because the only leg that is currently in range is the short one, which is the one that you're selling and earning premium. So
Yeah.
kind of a double down, right? If the price stays around the same or drops, you're gonna make both money in terms of the gamma, but also the Streamia. But if the price goes way up, you're gonna lose in terms of both the gamma change there and also or delta change and also the long wave. But so far so
So
good.
far so good. I think it's a really interesting feature that we have where you can kind of check, where is the liquidity position, and you can move liquidity from out of range in range, and earn fees that other users are missing out on. So I think that's really neat. Everybody that is out of range should obviously pay attention to that as well, and you can move your positions in range so you can earn more fees or close them, but it's important to kind of redistribute liquidity.
Yeah, and to that point though, like I think this might be a confusing concept to people because the whole in range out of range options thing, this is neither a options thing nor an LP thing, right? It's like LPs don't typically deal with options, and then option traders don't have like an in range out of range concept. So it's kind of a special feature of Panoptic where you can basically purchase these options for free when they're out of range, and then you could be earning premium when they're in range. So maybe a new concept for some of the listeners, but happy to expound more another time.
Yes. Last position here, we have our USDC ETH pool. Looks pretty good still. Let's take a closer look. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, my screen is not loading.
Yeah, the page sometimes takes a little bit to load here. I think we've seen an increase in traffic after the Unichain launch.
Yes, we did. So here we have strangle, where as long as we're between this range bound, we're collecting fees, or intern, I should say, is collecting fees. So this still looks pretty good as well. Let's check Previa. Yeah, I think part of
Ooh, that's too good.
yeah, part of like figuring out really how to manage your positions is just kind of sitting back, being patient, and making sure you have your time frame in mind, and just kind of, especially as an options seller, just collecting fees, hoping for nothing too drastic to happen, kind of playing this volatility game where you're not taking any directional bets. You're just kind of neutral, and playing with that range. You can kind of sit back and relax a bit.
Yeah, great trade here. It looks like we're about 2 weeks in, and you've made nearly 2%. So annualized, we're looking at something closer to like 50% P&L here. So very nice. I think you were maybe not sure about the price going up or down, and you wanted to sell the volatility, it looks like, and your bet has kind of paid off because the which market is this? Is the ETH
Yeah,
USDC
yeah.
market? Looks like, yeah. So ETH price has kind of gone up, gone down, but ended up right about where it started 2 weeks ago, meaning the realized vol has been quite low compared to the implied vol. So you're cashing in quite a lot of streamia here, but not really losing much from the price movement.
Yes,
So great trade
yes.
here. I don't know when you want to lock in some of your trades, but this one has been doing
Not
well.
yet. I think over the weekend, I'm sure there'll be some more changes as long as it goes up and down. You're kind of collecting, so I think we could probably another week check in. Hopefully, nothing too drastic happens, and then close that trade.
Sweet, yeah. Hopefully no crazy scandals and over the weekend with meme coins, but not financial advice here again. But this was great. Thanks for reviewing the intern trades, Rosalie. It looks like intern's pretty good here. I see a little bit of high buying power usage. I think you mentioned on the Bitcoin ETH pool. Got to watch that though. Be careful. The closer you are to 100 means the closer you are to being liquidated. Once you hit 100, as you see, actually, if you hover over that red number there, I think it'll show you that thermometer. Yeah, exactly. And so once you hit that 100%, you're in the liquidatable range. You basically will be closed out of that Bitcoin ETH pool, and all your funds will mostly be liquidated. So just got to be careful there. Either you could deposit some more collateral, or carefully monitor your position and close it if it gets any higher.
Yeah, I'm assuming that Monday or so we'll probably either have hit 100% or we'll be very close. So definitely we'll be monitoring that over the weekend for intern. But overall, no
Okay.
new trades
Well,
today. We'll see if there's any new meme coin pools that pop up. I know a lot of people have been launching new markets on Panoptic, so that's been really exciting. I hope you guys are enjoying the NFTs and this
yeah, shout
feature.
out to all the pool creators.
Yeah, shout out to the pool creators. We're gonna have some,
Yeah, tons of new market.
yeah, a lot of markets to explore. Let's see if there was anything new, exciting. Yeah, we got Colt, Pepe, CBBTC, Badger, endless possibilities. I think, yeah, now that we are live on Unichain, we are also seeing a lot more interesting trades there. Lower fees seem to get people a little bit more excited. And so I think, yeah, we should take a look at what's been happening on Unichain and how our busy traders have been.
Let's do it. So for those of you joining in just now, welcome to Stop Losing, Start Trading, where the intern trades options on Panoptic, and we can learn from their mistakes and their valuable lessons there. So we are in February 21st. Today is Friday, and we are looking over the Unichain markets here. So Panoptic launched on Unichain just over a week ago, and we've seen a huge amount of small retail activity here, which is great. We just ticked over 100K in deposits, and whoops, something's wrong here. We'll hit refresh, but lots and lots of activity here. Oh, maybe we won't be able to see it, but we'll see if this loads later. So let's jump to the volume so far on Panoptic. So our Dune metrics track the amount of volume being traded. Note this actually does not include Unichain on here yet. That will be added soon. But Panoptic notional options trading volume since launch, we just spiked over $3 million being traded on the platform, which to me is kind of wild, having been a part of the project since it was being built from the beginning, and now servicing all sorts of calls and puts and all these trades. Over $3 million is amazing in my mind. This will only go up from here. And then let's come back to the ETH market on Unichain. So any comments on the stats that you see here, Rosalie?
Yes, huge APYs. I
Reaction.
think big opportunities here to collect some APYs and early liquidity deposits are really going to benefit from that. Of course, these percentages will go down as more liquidity is added to the pool, but it looks like it's concentrated well around the price, and utilization looks good as well.
Yeah, that's a great point on the APYs here. These are historical, so they're backwards looking. The yield here comes from other depositors that come after you. So basically, if you deposit and someone deposits after you, they pay 20 basis points, so 0.2%. It gets redistributed to all the previous depositors. That's the first source of yield, is other depositors after you. The second source of yield is from people opening positions, options trades, and LPing in and through Panoptic. So every time someone opens, like let's say a one ETH call, then they're going to pay 20 basis points on that, right? So what is that? 0.002 ETH, and that gets redistributed to all the ETH depositors who are basically passive LPs. So that's kind of the yield reward, and you're going to see quite high yields, as you mentioned initially, just because there's only so many deposits, but then there's a lot more people depositing after and trades going on. I love Unichain, and just as an L2, it's so fast, and we see tons of experiments. I think the average trade side is going to be somewhere, in the hundreds of dollars if you look at the notional, either in ETH or USDC. But it's just great to pay a gas fee of pretty much sub pennies and be able to experiment. It feels like testnet, but of course, real funds here being at play. So really love the Unichain experience. How's your experience? Has the intern been trading on Unichain as well, or sticking to ETH mainnet for now?
The intern has not explored Unichain yet, but the intern is very excited. We have some pips and points on Unichain as well. So we'll definitely be opening some positions there next week.
Yes, I mean the intern's quite the wealth, so I guess it makes sense to steal mainnet. But for the little minnows, Unichain has been quite popular. As you can see kind of all the deposits and trades here, and you've got a lot of activity going on. One other thing that I want to note is something really cool. You can toggle between the liquidity in Uniswap versus the Panoptic owned liquidity. So basically, anyone LPing or selling options, because they're the same thing in the Panoptic lens, is deploying through the Panoptic smart contracts, and so they're LPing under the name of Panoptic. Of course, in the end, you still control your funds and you can remove them. But on this graph, it's kind of showing the protocol liquidity in Uniswap versus the Uniswap, and we're starting to make a dent here of actually being a significant amount. One thing I find also very interesting is the TVL in the Uniswap pool versus the TVL in this passive LP pool. We're at about 63,000 USDC plus 14 ETH. So that's around 100K, over 100K USD. Uniswap is 463K. So we're approaching 25% of the actual TVL there, which is quite large. So very nice to see, and to see all this kind of activity. You also mentioned points too. So yeah, if you see this symbol here, this nice sparkly symbol that appears on many many crypto protocols, but is a nice emoji. This symbolizes that you're earning pips just by depositing in here, and if you trade options or LP, you're going to be earning even more pips. So this is a great pool to start out with on Unichain.
Definitely, especially right now with those high APYs. That looks very exciting. Do we have any good or bad trades that we want to cover today? For just because it's Friday, we can take a look at what people have been
Let's
doing.
do it. Yes. So should we start with the worst or the best trades?
The worst.
Good news or bad?
Okay. We'll save the best for last.
Start the bad news and end on the good. Sounds good. So we'll start with, well, actually, before I show you, let's have you guess the worst trades. We're just looking at Unichain over the last approximately week. Trades are quite small. Let's have you guess what is the worst trade. Is it like a call, put, buying, selling, straddle? What do you think is the worst trade so far on Unichain in terms of absolute P&L?
I'm gonna guess it is buying a put option with a quite bullish outlook on ETH.
Okay, so you think let's see, put option. So bearish outlook. You think people thought it was going to go down, but the price didn't go down. Maybe. So let's see what we got here on the worst trade. Let's see. Well, you're halfway there because one of the legs was a long put, but the other leg here was a short put. So this is what's called, I believe, a bearish put spread. Basically, you're capping how much you can lose, and you're also capping how much you can gain. But it is kind of a directional bet here. So you're right in that this trader was thinking the price was going to go down. ETH price started at 26.27 when this position was created, and they were hoping that for that price to drop below 2600. Really, when you get to 2200, you start seeing a cap on your gain. So they're hoping it to go towards the 2200 mark. But the price actually went the opposite direction. So ETH price went up compared to when they minted this, opened this trade a week ago. And it looks like, it took 17 hours and they decided it was time to cut their losses short. And they took a loss of, not too crazy, just $6, $6.50. But as far as percent terms, is quite a large loss. We're looking at 12% of notional, and if you're looking at, if you're just looking at, well, actually, 12% of their requirement, it seems more like, but yeah, quite a large loss. Thankfully, the largest loss on Unichain has only been $6.50. So it looks like our Unichain users are still doing pretty well here.
Good. Yeah, I think if this would have been my trade, and I was pretty sure of the price movement, I might have even held it a little longer, and then maybe ended up, having to pay more fees. So I think it's good to not really think of everything in terms of winning or losing, but in terms of risk management and understanding when, how to manage your position, when to get out, how much you might lose, and just having that kind of be a way to hedge your holdings, right? So if you have some ETH in your wallet, you can kind of play around with options while not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, great point. Also, with risk management, always starts with sizing, not financial advice again. But here, hopefully, this is just a small part of their portfolio. They bought a 0.2 ETH spread, but the requirement on spreads is a lot lower, which makes them a risk defined instrument, which is gonna basically cap your risks. And so the whole requirement is going to be a lot lower because 0.2 ETH at the 2600 price, that's like $500. The requirement is only $55, and so we're looking at like 10x leverage here, at least on the notional there. But it's a nice safe way to experiment, and of course, cutting your losses in this case ended up being probably a smart decision because the current price now of ETH is 2,700, 2,746. So it actually would have went down further if they had held it for another week. And plus they would have owed more premium potentially, just with that long leg being in range. So good advice with the risk management here. Let's take a look at the second worst trade. I got one more for you. So knowing what you know now, what do you have any guesses on what the second worst trade might be in terms of the position type?
Definitely, I guess shorting ETH. Maybe. Oh, it could be something simple, but maybe it's like a straddle or something interesting and hasn't moved in range yet. I'm not sure.
Okay, good guess. So we're gonna go with short straddle. That's maybe like close to out of range or something. Let's see. what we got, and you are a you are very correct here. Actually, you nailed it on
How
the
did I
head.
do
I
that?
promise.
I
You
have
didn't
never
tell
seen
me
it.
this earlier, but your intuition is correct. We have here a what is a short strangle, really similar to short straddle. It's just that the strike prices are at two slightly different locations, and they did actually start very close to out of range, and it ended nearly out of range. So I think this is a very interesting trade to break down. Of course, the max lot, like the loss here was $7. So thankfully, still no one's losing too much on Unichain because this is one of the worst trades. But as far as percent wise, they're looking at yeah, I don't know if this is right, but $7 out of their collateral requirement, like 1% losses. So not like crazy bad. I do think what could have mitigated this is not starting their strangle so far out of range, just because the delta here when you go near the out of range point is going to be much higher. So a price drop from 27.50 to 27.30, that's only like 28 bucks of a price drop in ETH, but they're seeing a P&L loss of like from what is this, 4 to -7, so like $11 loss from that. This is a bigger delta change, or sorry, this is a bigger change in P&L because the delta is so large there. If they had started a little bit more delta neutral, say like around the 3,100 mark or something, not financial advice again, but if they had started at a more delta neutral position and the price had dropped $30, the change in P&L, the loss would be a lot less because that delta is so flat here. So that's kind of the key with strangles, is if you really are kind of ambivalent to the price moving up or down, you kind of want to start closer to the middle, I think, because that starts with a zero delta. So any changes are kind of dampened because that delta starts at zero, slowly increases, which means as the delta slowly increases, you slowly lose more, but at least not as much as you would out on the tells here.
Yeah, exactly. And
So
you can
this guy
see,
started like, yeah.
I was just going to add
Sorry,
that
go ahead. I think there's a little bit of delay on the.
you can see the delta as well, the little triangle on each leg. So that kind of helps you understand the slope of the lines, the chart, as well as kind of probability of what percentage your bet might be right based on market calculations.
Yeah, good point here on the delta. So you see, we're at 57 delta on the put leg. We're approaching the 100, right? So if you multiply this by 100, but we're approaching one, and if you start at zero, you're delta neutral, but here it's quite far out, and so we're at the 0.57. So try to start maybe closer to the middle here, but not financial advice, as always. So let's move to the best trade of the Unichain trades. If you had to guess, you've guessed 1 out of 2 right, or 1.5. So we'll give you a half point for the first one since you got one leg right. So you're on a roll here. What do you think is the best overall trade on Unichain?
I would stick with some a strangle as well. I think something more range bound, some more in the money, where fees have just been collected the entire price movement period.
All right. So strangle, another short strangle then. All right, let us go to the best trade. And you are 2.5 for 3 here. We got a short strangle that has done very well. This one looks so similar to the previous one, if you look here. So what is different about these two? Let's see. Well, in the first one, the biggest, the second biggest loss. the price dropped down. In the best trade, the price actually dropped, like went up. And so maybe a little bit luck here, or maybe that's what I wonder if this is the same person, to be honest. It is the same person, DE5209. Not to dox them, but this is the same trader doing two very similar trades. One of them, the best performing trade was done 3 days ago. The worst one was done nearly 4 days ago. So very interesting. It looks actually like this trader put in a strangle, and then the price went down. They were losing. They closed it. At the same time, they put in another strangle shortly after the first strangle, but at a lower price. And so they were kind of adjusting as the price went, and then the price went back up. And so this position actually they closed with a profit, and they made $32, which is more than what they lost on the first trade, even though it's similar sized position. So really here, the price change was quite beneficial. It looks like it went from 26.50 to 27.30, so a much bigger price change. Whereas before it was a $30 drop, here is nearly a $100 increase. And actually, it works in your favor if you're out in the tells and you get, I don't want to call it luck, but potentially if you guess right on the directional change, because the delta is so large, right? 64 delta here. This price going up actually benefits you a lot more because you're directionally correct there. And
I
so,
think it's very interesting to hear you kind of speaking about this strangle versus when Guillaume is teaching me this. You're kind of seeing this more directional bet where I'm like focused in now on range, and I'm like, well, it goes up, it goes down. Like we're not even paying attention to that, but as we see now, like it does, it depends on kind of your how you view your trading. But I think it's interesting that
yeah,
take a different approach.
very interesting point. Yeah, normally I do think of strangles more as non-directional, like you. We even put them under the neutral tab on our trade page, right? But this trader, I don't know if they were thinking in terms of neutrality, because they start, like when they opened the position, the delta of their put leg was already 64. So rather than starting at a delta of, like combined delta of zero, they were starting at a delta of non-zero. So it does seem like, even if they weren't intentionally doing this, their position had an inherent bias on the direction of price, meaning they wanted it to go up. They were bullish on it by starting out on the wing. So it could be a combination of something like they thought the price was going to come back up. That's why they minted another short strangle just below their previous one. And then with the strangles, similar thing with how you were trading, right? You get double fees. You're basically LPing twice in the pool with both the put leg and call leg. And so they're raking in the streamia fees here, which only adds to their overall P&L, But yeah, it's a very interesting way to use these strangles as a directional thing to earn double fees at the same time.
Yeah, very interesting. And I don't know whose points we're looking at, but
Those are mine, so we're
oh,
just excited, so.
but yeah, we're very excited to be live on Unichain and having so many new positions now. L2s seem to make retail users a lot happier. So we're really excited to kind of grow from here on out, and hopefully you guys are having a good time trading and capping your losses. And if any questions, always just feel free to reach out to us on Discord or Twitter or Telegram. We're happy to answer any questions that there might be. And yeah.
Yes, definitely. We've got lots of exciting events. Thanks so much for covering those trades with the intern, Rosalie. Next week is ETH Denver, as you know, the biggest crypto conference of the year. So Panoptic will be there. Please come to our event. It's on Friday, Panopticon. We have a special guest, Tom Sosnoff. one of the masters of options trading, and he has his own show called Tasty Live where they go and explain option trade breakdowns like we do here, except in the TradFi kind of scenario. So very fun live streamer and podcaster, and he's a founder of Tasty Trade, so their own options exchange, tons of educational material as well. So very excited to have this special guest, Tom Sosnoff. You won't want to miss it. He'll be making a virtual appearance, but it will be exclusive to those who show up to the event in Denver. So make sure to check it out. It's currently on our Twitter. There's a Luma page that you'll need to sign up, and we'll also be in the Unichain booth at ETH Denver. So make sure to come visit us there. We have a slot, I believe, Thursday and Saturday mornings. So we'll post more details about that. But come stop by the main ETH Denver event at the Unichain booth. It's going to be a huge booth. You won't be able to miss it. And Panoptic will be there. We're very excited to be day one launch partners with Unichain, and tons of activity picking up here on Unichain, as you saw with those best and worst trades. As far as the live stream, we probably won't have any live streams for the next week, just because the team will be in Denver. But we're very excited to meet those of you able to come, and then we'll resume with the regular programming the following week, of course. Any other announcements on your end, Rosalie, or anything in mind?
No, yeah, I'm really excited to see everybody in Denver and to be part of the Unichain booth as well. Although interns should kind of monitor these positions a little closer, there seem to be a lot of price movements coming with all the excitement around ETH Denver. And so, yeah, hopefully intern, although we won't be doing the live trading show, will keep their eyes open. But thank you so much for joining me today, Brandon. And yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in.
Sweet. Well, happy Friday, and thanks everyone. Leave us any questions in Discord if you want to meet up for ETH Denver. Just let us know, and take care.